In the ancient world, it was thought that only kings were made in God's image, but the Bible tells a different story in which both men and women are made in God's image. They carry the same dignity and the same authority to image God into the world so that it might be on earth as it is in heaven. Eve was not given to Adam as a helper in the sense that she is to be in the house all day doing chores while Adam's out doing the real work. She is given as a helper to do the same task, to co-labor to bring about God's mission. Being a helper is not a subjective term. We know this because God is called the same Hebrew word for helper later in the Bible, and God is not subjected to humanity. He helps us, we help each other, and we bring about God's mission on the earth. But when we sin, we begin to put each other into boxes. First thing Adam and Eve do is they realize, you're different from me. They see each other's nakedness and they begin to separate. And they begin to cover it up. And then sin begins to infect the culture and creates this dynamic of patriarchy in which men are suddenly doing all these works and subjecting women to them, while women are forced into their own cultures and feeling subjected by the men. That's not something that God designed. That's something that came about after sin infects everything. But when Jesus comes along, he tries to empower women to show us what they are supposed to be like as workers alongside of us. Wherever he goes, he works with women, as women who supported his ministry. It's women who learned at his feet like a male disciple would. It's women who are given the good news of the resurrection so that they might be sent with it to the men. It is women who carry the good news of the resurrection to the men. The best news that there ever has been, because without the resurrection, everything else falls apart. So when we look at the Bible, we need to recognize the differences between the brokenness of culture and what the Bible is actually calling us to do. When we look at Jesus's life lived out in our fallen world, we have to realize the kinds of things that he did and try to image that, since he is the true image of God, image that into the world and also empower and lift up women. This is the call to all of us. We co-labor together as the same image of God to do the kinds of things that God has called each of us to without forcing each other into boxes that culture tells us that we have to be in.